and welcome to the headquarters of the CIA. My name is Agent A, and I am the director of the Junior Agents Training Division. You have all been selected because of your acute minds and your willingness for adventure. Your mission in this division will be to track down criminals across the globe and bring them to justice. But in order to do so, you must first learn about all the different locations in the world where they may be hiding. Each session, we will send you to a different country. You must learn everything you can about that section of the world. We will provide you with the information, but be sure to remember as much as you can, because that will be the clue to determining where your criminal is hiding. For our first criminal, we are trying to track down the dastardly villain Mo Skeeter. He's escaped our clutches and has journeyed somewhere in the world, and we need you to track him down. Our first destination, the country of Japan.
Japan is an archipelago or string of islands on the eastern edge of Asia. There are 4 main islands: Hokkaido, Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. There are also nearly 4,000 smaller islands. Japan's nearest mainland neighbors are the Siberian region of Russia in the north and Korea and China farther south. Almost 4/5 of Japan is covered with mountains. The Japanese Alps run down the center of the largest island, Honshu. The highest peak is Mount Fuji, a cone-shaped volcano considered sacred by many Japanese. Japan can be a dangerous place. 3 of the tectonic plates that form the Earth's crust meet nearby and often move against each other, causing earthquakes. More than 1,000 earthquakes hit Japan every year. Japan also has about 200 volcanoes, 60 of which are active. People first came to Japan about 30,000 years ago. At the time, the main islands were connected to Siberia and Korea by bridges of dry land, so people crossed on foot. They survived for thousands of years, hunting, fishing, and gathering plants. In 660 BC, Japan's first emperor, Jimmu Tenno, came to power. Emperors controlled Japan until the 12th century AD, when military rulers called shoguns took control and ruled by might. Europeans first arrived in Japan in 1543, bringing guns and Christianity. In 1635, the ruling shogun closed Japan to foreigners and forbade Japanese to travel abroad. This isolation lasted more than 200 years. In 1868, the shoguns were overthrown and emperors returned. This was a time of great change and modernization for Japan. During World War I, Japan fought on the side of the U.S., but on December 7, 1941, Japan bombed the United States Navy fleet at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, and the U.S. entered World War II. From 1941 to 1945, Japan's military leaders fought against the U.S. and the Allied forces. In August 1945, the U.S. dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing about 115,000 people. Japan surrendered a few days later. It devastated Japan's economy, but the people's hard work and clever innovation turned it around, making it now the second largest economy in the world. Japan's high-tech industry makes some of the most popular electronic products in the world. Some of the most well-known companies around the world are Japanese. The first Walkman was created by the Japanese company Sony. The first mass-produced laptops were created by Toshiba. Other major Japanese countries include Toyota, Nintendo, and Panasonic. The Japanese are famous for their willingness to work very hard. Children are taught to show respect for others, especially parents and bosses. They learn to do what's best for their family or company and worry less about their own needs. Japanese food is very different from food in Western countries. There's lots of rice, fish, and vegetables, but little meat. With little fat or dairy, this diet is very healthy, which helps Japanese people live, on average, longer than any other people in the world. Sumo is Japan's national sport. It has its origins in entertaining the gods of Shinto, Japan's indigenous religion. It has been practiced for centuries, and many of the old rituals are kept today, such as throwing copious amounts of salt around the ring to purify it before each bout. Each bout usually lasts mere seconds. The aim is to force your opponent out of the ring or to cause him to touch the ground with any part of his body other than the soles of his feet. The larger the wrestler, the bigger his advantage, as there are no weight categories, hence the size of the wrestlers. Back in 2013, Goldman Sachs found that there were more registered pets in Japan than there were children. At the time, there were 21.3 million cats and dogs registered, and only 16.5 million children below the age of 15. So if you love pets, Japan might be the place for you. Japan has the highest density of vending machines worldwide, with approximately 5 million machines, or 1 machine for every 23 people. You can buy everything from live lobsters and bread in a can to underwear and Buddhist amulets from a vending machine.
Good job, agents. You've assimilated lots of information, but we'll see if your knowledge is up to the test. We've intercepted a code sent by Mo Skeeter to his accomplices. He says that he is hiding in the shadow of the sacred volcano. Do you know where the dastardly Mo Skeeter is hiding? Can you bring him to justice? Where will we go next month? Be sure to tune back in. Good evening.